Na 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 na. Oh hey hey. Goodbye. We've got something good to talk about today, ladies and gentlemen. But before we hop into that, like, share, comment, and of course, hit that subscribe button if you are new. And ooh, y'all gonna get a kick out of this one. Let's dive in.
In maybe January, we'll let somebody transfer some jets.
I'm sorry, Mr. Vice President, have you, I know you're running for president. You are distressed that the Ukrainians don't have enough American tanks. Every city in the United States has become much worse over the past 3 years.
Yeah.
Drive around. There's not one city that's gotten better in the United States. And it's visible. Our economy has degraded. The suicide rate has jumped. Public filth and disorder and crime have exponentially increased.
Facts.
And yet, your concern is that the Ukrainians, a country most people can't find on a map, who've received tens of billions of U.S. tax dollars, don't have enough tanks. I think it's a fair question to ask, like, where's the concern for the United States in that?
Well, it's not my concern. Tucker, I've heard that routine from you before, but that's not my concern.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, let me be the one to tell you. That was the beginning of the end of Mike Pence's run for president, because from that point on, it has only been downhill. Check this out.
Way back. Let me see if I can hear you.
How has life treated you since Tucker Carlson ruined your career?
Absolutely, positively owned. I mean, it's just, you don't get on stage with America loving, or in front of America loving individuals and say that America isn't your concern, and you still think you're going to win those people over as you're running for president? Oh, man. Yeah. Here is the official video from Mike Pence and his latest announcement. Check it out.
I just couldn't sit this one out. But the Bible tells us that there's a time for every purpose under heaven. And traveling across the country over the past 6 months, I came here to say it's become clear to me this is not my time. So after much prayer and deliberation, I have decided to suspend my campaign for president effective today. Now, I'm leaving this campaign, but let me promise you, I will never leave the fight for conservative values, and I will never stop fighting to elect principled Republican leaders to every office in the land. So help me God.
Yeah, that was just his entire family and all of his friends that were clapping for him there. But yeah, his campaign is officially over, which, you know, based off of just even that first clip I showed you guys, shouldn't be too much of a shock. But there's more that I have to show you as well, including Uncle Trump having a little something to say. Check it out.
Phil Ruffin and some people that we deal with. He's a fantastic guy. Great poker player, too, by the way, but he's a fantastic man, and we've had a good time. And I want to just thank all of the supporters in the room, because this is all about supporters. We want to get out. We want to caucus. And, you know, our competitors aren't doing too well in the polls. You probably read. But I know he did. He just left. He just left. Mike Pence just left. Did you hear that? Yeah.
If you didn't catch it, I know it's a little hard to hear. I tried to turn the volume up a bit, but somebody in the crowd yelled, "Mike Pence dropped out," and Uncle Trump responded to it. Here, I'll run it back here in a second. Here we go.
I know he did. He just left. Competitors aren't doing too well in the polls. You probably read. But I know he did. He just left. He just left. Mike Pence just left. Did you hear that? Yeah. And we have others that are leaving. We just had two great endorsements, as you know. Two great endorsements.
Larry Elder.
Mr. Johnson and Mr. Elder, Larry Elder. They're fantastic guys, and they just left the race, and they said, we endorse Trump. We're not going to... That's better. That's better. They said, we're not going to beat him, so we might as well endorse him. And
Yeah, for those of you that don't know, Larry Elder also dropped out of the race for president as well. I want to say he did that like a few days ago. But, obviously he had zero shot at winning. I mean, I'm a fan of Larry Elder. We've checked him out here on the channel. Had one conversation with him, honestly, in the DMs. Seems like a cool guy, nice guy, but he honestly had no shot. Although, what do you guys think about a Trump Elder ticket? I think that'd be interesting. Especially since, the left always likes to talk about how Republicans don't have people of color, right? Well, vice president is a black man, so there you go. I think that'd be interesting. And it's not like it would be a diversity hire. You know what I mean? Larry Elder is somebody who knows what he's talking about. We've watched him absolutely school people on a regular basis. His recall of statistics is second to none. The way he's able to recall statistics just on a whim, like you'll be mid conversation, he'll say, well, there was a study in 1986 that came out with 1,005 individuals, and I'm like, yo, how in the world do you remember all of this? it's honestly incredible. It really, really is. So it wouldn't be a diversity hire, but hey, kudos to Mike Pence for dropping out as well. I guess he can get back to his terrible commercials like this one.
Hey everybody, Mike Pence here. For $2 a gallon gas, I do. And then Joe Biden became president of the United States and launched his war on energy. Since that time, gasoline prices are up 60%. Electricity prices are up 25%. Joe Biden's war on energy is causing real hardship for working families, small businesses, and family farms. But we've got a plan to relieve all of that. We just unveiled the Pence energy plan that'll not only put our country back on a path to energy independence, but by 2040, we will reclaim America's role as the leading producer of energy in the world. Join us in the fight for American energy leadership by going to MikePence2024.com. We can lead the world once again to a more prosperous and a secure future for America with energy independence and American energy leadership.
For those of you that haven't seen that commercial, you may not have caught it, but the entire time that he was standing there, he's not actually pumping the gas. Look where his hand is. He's not pulling the lever. He never actually pumped the darn gas.
Role as the leading producer of energy in the world.
Oh, crap. There was a second where the words were off the screen. There we go. You could see it a little better there. He's not pulling the lever. The lever is below his hand. And you can still hear the pump beeping at him. Man, some of these people that are running some of these individuals' campaigns, they're absolutely terrible. Whoever ran Mike Pence's, terrible. Whoever ran or is running Ron DeSantis's, terrible. Right? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Or, maybe he doesn't have to go back to terrible commercials. He could just go back to this.
It's great to be here at CNN, Jake. Thank you. It really is. In the end, our administration did not end well. And I write about that in my book. As I write in my book, let me say, as I said in my book, when I sat down to write my book, frankly, as you read in my book, And in my book, I write about lessons learned in my life, which inspired the title of my book. It's actually in the back of my book. And I appreciate the question. And I appreciate you reading my book. I mean, in my book, I talk about why I'm grateful for the opportunity to be on CNN today. And so my hope is to those people that might still wonder why we did what we did, I hope that they'll read this book.
Shout out to Mark Dice. Mark Dice put that compilation together. Big shout out to Mark Dice. But, you know, he can go back to selling his book. But as I was saying earlier, this is no shock that Mike Pence is dropping out. Because if you guys remember, I brought a story to you guys about some of these mega donors that were backing out of supporting these other individuals because of Trump's overwhelming support. Here we go. This is a story from NBC. Mounting debt threatens Mike Pence's campaign. Pence's 2024 effort has $1.2 million on hand, but has built up $620,000 in debt. A major warning sign for a presidential campaign. I brought you guys that story probably about 2 weeks ago about big donors pulling their money out of supporting guys like Mike Pence and the Ron DeSantis of the world and all of these other individuals and saying, nah, we're going to chill. We're going to chill. We're not going to make any more donations because it's not really going anywhere. And yeah, Mike Pence was one of those individuals that got the funding pulled from underneath him. And you saw it there, $1.2 million on hand and $620,000 in debt. Not good. And then, of course, we have the news from today. Yeah. So, not an extreme surprise here, but took them long enough, right? Excuse me. Honestly, I think everybody should drop out and just get behind Uncle Trump, you know, because nobody else has a shot of winning. People could say, oh, well, Nikki Haley had a surge, or, oh, Ron DeSantis, you know, or Vivek, you know, no. None of them have a shot. Uncle Trump could be in prison, and he's still going to have a better shot than all three of them. And that's just my humble opinion on it. Okay? Man could literally be in prison and still have a better shot at being president than all three of them. Because I think we understand and realize who exactly these individuals are. They all have problems. Ron DeSantis, he's a snake. He can't even keep his promise to Florida. How's he going to keep his promise to us? He backstabbed Trump. What makes you think he's not going to backstab us? He's not a leader. We saw multiple examples. Now, granted, these are small things, but that's the problem. Like, they're small things. Like, you would think something that small, like, you would just stand up and show some leadership. When he was asked, hey, if Trump becomes the Republican nominee, will you support him? He looked to his left and he looked to his right to see who all raised their hand first. Then he raised his hand. That's not the type of leader that I want. I want somebody, I don't care what they say. I got my own opinion. Even if he would have kept his hand down. Stand on it, though. Don't see what everybody else is doing. And then you get on Vivek, who talks really nice. But I have some questions about Vivek. I don't know if you guys have seen the compilation video that I posted via a YouTube short, but he's way, way too similar to Barack Obama. I mean, so similar that their speeches are the same. And I'm not kidding. Go and check out the YouTube short that I posted. Oh, man, it's probably been about a month now. It's clips of Barack Obama talking, and then Vivek talks, and he says basically the exact same thing that Obama is saying. The exact same thing. And there's like there's multiple clips of Vivek saying the exact same thing, not the word for word, but basically the exact same thing as Barack. So I just have some questions about that. And then you get to Nikki Haley. Oh my goodness. Who's just, how can I say this, warmonger to say the least? So, you know, all of them have their own issues and problems. So I don't think none of them will garner more support than Uncle Trump. So, yeah, I think all of them should drop out and let's all get behind Uncle Trump and let's get this train rolling. But that's just my humble opinion. How do you guys feel about all of this in the comment section below? Like, share, comment, hit that subscribe button before you go. Peace and love. I'm out.